Well, hello, friends. I've got 100 things going at the same time. I'm canning some beans, green beans from my garden. I had a friend, or I don't know, maybe a couple of them. They had a Feeding America truck today up at the school. Well, apparently and with your produce, they had turnips and beets, and they had peppers, all kinds of produce. But anyway, I had a couple of my friends say, you know what, we don't eat the turnips, we don't eat the beets, here's some cabbage, and you know what, do whatever you want with it. So it's like, okay, so I am canning beets, I'm canning turnips, and I'm canning green beans. And I thought, you know what, this is just a kitchen day. No rhyme, no reason, but you'll see just how I do stuff, and we'll chat, and we'll just have a ball. Because I got like 50 things going at once. So you're just gonna see me in real life. This is putting this food away so that nothing goes bad, okay? Now I got jars. This is turnips. These I washed. Let me turn this around here. Okay, I washed, peeled, and boiled these for 5 minutes. So now I'm gonna throw them into jars. Literally. So let's see, my jars have been in there for probably 20 minutes now, so I can get that out. And I'm just like in heaven here. I love it when people do that. I come home today from the hardware, and there is vegetables, as if I don't have enough in my garden, but you know, there's extra stuff that I can definitely use. And I had cabbage out there on my table, and parsnips, not turnips, parsnips. I told you turnips, those are parsnips. And beets. And then I had green beans that I was gonna can today and put them up. So anyway, I have to get one thing. So it's a kitchen day. So we're gonna set these over here because these are hot. Okay, now I've got these 3 quarts are for my beans because those are just going in cold. Those don't have to be hot. These are hot. So they have to go in the hot jars. Let's see. I am going to put a little salt in them just to flavor them a little bit. So this, friends, is what I do. All right. So I'm going to ladle them in here. And you know what? These turnips. Why do I keep saying turnips? These parsnips. They're just like carrots. And you could always can them with broth, or like the what is it? Onion soup mix. You can use several different. Give it a twist. Can it with a twist. But these ones, okay, that's not too bad. Just give it a little tap. Ooh. Okay, these ones I'm just canning plain because I usually use these in soup, or you know, if I do them with a side dish, you never know how I'm going to do them or what they're going to be added to. So I just do them plain with a little bit of salt. That way I can use them for anything I want. And these are always a nice addition to your pantry. And I just shake the jar a little bit. Get them down in there. Now I don't have a full canner of anything, and too bad I didn't, because the beans that I'm going to can only take about 25 minutes. These are going to take 30 minutes, so I can't really can them together because you got to do it right. But sometimes, if you're canning stuff that takes the same time, can it the same run it the same canner. You can mix and match. But because there's a 5-minute difference in the time on these, I can't do it that way. It's nice when you can because it does save time. And then I saved my water. My water that I boiled them in, I use that to fill my jars because that's where all the nutrients and some of the flavors seeps out in that. And I wouldn't throw it away anyway. I would can that water up because that makes wonderful vegetable broth. I didn't know how many jars of this I would have. But you know what, I can start filling these. Oh, I want to put my salt in there. So I'm just going to put, not a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon. That could have been a disaster. Half a teaspoon of salt in each jar. And that's optional. You don't have to add salt to it, and I've told you that before. But I do. And I just fill it. And I do 1 inch of head space. And usually when you debubble it, you'll wind up with more. Okay, now I got more room here. That one's going to be just a little bit shy, but the water will be to the proper head space. All right. So we got them in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little more water in here. I'm going to just heat it up in that pan. And that way I won't waste none of that wonderful juice. Okay. I'm just going to add that right to that. There we go. I'm just going to let this heat up. I got a damp piece of paper towel here. And I'm going to go ahead and debubble these. I don't have to add anything to that one. This one will need a little bit more. Just a little bit. There. I'm just going to go like so. The only time I use vinegar on my paper towel is if I'm canning meat, because that will cut the grease and anything that could be stuck on your rim. Okay, those two are done. These are going to be wonderful. Wonderful addition to the pantry. This is my favoriteest thing to do in the world. Can. I love it. My jars are cooling down. All right, I gotta let that heat up. So that's heating up. Look at everything I got over here. All this stuff. I got my green beans there. And I need to drain these. There. My sink is nice and clean, all sanitized, so I'm not going to waste those. Alright, so I got my 3 jars here. I don't know how many I'm going to use. I don't think it'll be any more than that. I'm going to go ahead and put a teaspoon of salt in at least 2 of them. Okay? I'm doing 50 things at once. I need to heat water up for these. I don't know if you can see, oh, you can't see that. I got borage growing in here, and it's growing all over the place. But they brought me these beautiful, I had 4 bags of the parsnips and 4 nice bags of beets. How nice. I definitely use those. All right. This is boiling, so I can finish this up. You know, after a while of canning, I don't know, I probably got some of my friends on here are probably avid canners, so you can relate with me. Your fingers, you get so used to touching hot stuff that after a while, you touch something and your fingers don't burn. It's crazy. Okay, now I'm going to debulk these. The one thing you just don't ever want to do is stick something metal in there. I mean, I've done it in a pinch before, but it's not good practice because you chip that. You can chip the rim on your jar, and once that's chipped, that jar is no good for canning. Now you could use it for storage, but you can't use it for canning. All right. Like my rims. Careful so you don't touch the sealing compound on there. That's good. These are ready for the canner. Finger tight. Oh, that's it. Okay. All right. All right, so those are ready for the canner. Set that aside. I can set this aside because I don't need that anymore. Now, okay, now I'm going to fill my beans in here. And I already put the salt in there. All these different colored beans. I got wax beans and everything in here. But you know what? They'll all be green when they go through the processing. When you cook them, they'll turn green anyway. They're beautiful. And I put these in 1.5 jars. And I guess I will use 3 of them. Probably another pint here. It will be perfect. So, looks good. Okay. That's set. All right, here we go. These look so nice in a jar. Sometimes I wish they'd just stay that color, but they don't. They turn green. Especially when you can purple and red potatoes. They look so nice together. Okay, I got all this debubbled. Wipe the rims down. Anyway, we'll put these all on here. Finger tight. Good to go. Come on. There we go. Sometimes you have that. I'm going to put the turnips in here, so I'm going to use this hot water. Alright, about a good 3 inches of water is all you need in there. A little shot of vinegar. That's warm enough. It's warm enough to not create a thermal shock. So, we'll put these in here. Okay, there goes my... Alright, I'm going to let that heat up, and that vent's going to have to spew a steady stream of steam for 10 minutes. Okay, friends, you can see that that's just spewing. And I timed it for 10 minutes. So I'm going to put my 10-pound weight on there, and this is going to go for 40 minutes, and I'm going to start timing, and when it starts to chew. Well, good morning, friends. It's the next morning after my busy day of preserving all these goodies. Most of them were free, with the exception of the green beans that come out of my garden. So I've got 22 pints total to put into my pantry. All I got to do is wash them, label them, they're pantry ready. Yesterday was a busy day for me. I did a lot of this video. I showed you a lot of stuff I was doing, but it was all put to music because there were people coming in. I had company all throughout the day yesterday, so it was too hard to try and talk and chit chat and do this. But I didn't want you to miss, my day in the kitchen. So there you have it, friends. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I certainly hope this inspires you to start preserving your foods. Anytime somebody gives me stuff like this, this is what I do. If I can only freeze it, I freeze it. If I can dehydrate it, I do that too. Otherwise, I can it. And when I come home yesterday, I had cabbage and parsnips and beets all bagged up sitting on my little table outside. So it was like a little gift from heaven. And here it all is. So there you have it, friends. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video. You all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.